Here already. See, we got 4 people here. Started a little earlier today. I'm gonna turn you guys around and we're gonna look at one of our show tanks and just kind of talk about aquascaping, the effects of it for the fish, the effects of it for us as people. Yeah, we're gonna turn you around. So we worked on this today. It's nowhere near finalized. We have to get plants in it. But this is just preliminary aquascaping we did. You see a lot of rocks kind of up here and around. We're trying to get this driftwood to stay down. It's still really buoyant, even though we've been floating it for a while. Hey, good afternoon, Lynx. So yeah, we'll just look at the show tank for a little bit as people come in. We won't be able to stay here long due to we're right next to our lunch area, so want to give everybody the opportunity to eat their lunch without us filming them. But hey Jeff, how's it going? So a little bit about this tank, what our goal is, and then we'll start talking about the effects of aquascaping. So hello Yov. So over here, one of our employees aquascaped this. His name's Rob. A lot of you guys probably talked to him through emails. He did this side, and over here I kind of did this side with Rob. So what we're going to do is over the next week or two, we're going to let it settle in, see what we like, see what we don't like, and potentially re-aquascape the tank. As of right now, my goal, and I was thinking of doing basically a separate aquascape over here and an aquascape over here, kind of 2 different islands with rocks surrounding it, a lot of plants, potentially like Java fern, Anubias coming in here, and just simple plants. Potentially have some dwarf Sagittaria, maybe some taller plants here and here that will flow with the outflow of the filter. Would look really nice. Hello Guppy, hello Dave. Snowed in Iowa. Yeah, no thank you. Stacy. So 1 second. Hey, I'm live.
Cool.
No, stop. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, those are the plans for this tank. So really, I'm thinking some carpeting plants here and here, not too many, and lots of plants on the rock work and the driftwood. So we'll go look at the other side really quick and kind of get the other side of it. So over here, pretty similar, obviously. We're just on the other side. So over here, thinking about lots of Anubias, Java fern in and out of here. And I'm thinking Sag, Crypts, maybe some Val or a large Crypt. Maybe like a Balance to come up over here and flow. Same over here. But we're going to be working on this tank a lot. We're probably going to end up changing it a lot. But let's talk about how that affects the fish and kind of what to expect. So a lot of these fish, they're going to... we just did this like an hour ago, so it wasn't like the fish aren't really interacting with it yet. Over here, we have a lot of zebra plecos. I think I counted 12 or 15 in here, like 15 today, but all of them ended up going into here. They like it. There's a lot of empty space under here. Let's see if we can get a view from the side of the tank. This is the first thing you see when you walk into our warehouse, so you're going to see that. But you can see there's a lot of caves in there. So really, the fish really enjoy it. It gives them a lot of places to hide. There's a lot of biofilm on the driftwood. You guys see it blowing in the current there. So the plecos are really gonna like to eat all of this. We already saw one of the royal farewellas eating all this, and they just went right to work. Here's one right here. So, like any driftwood, while it was we were trying to sink it, a lot of biofilm started forming on the wood, and you can see he stopped as soon as I walked up, of course, but he's over here munching on all the biofilm. You can see some floating right behind him above his head. And within the next couple days, I imagine all the plecos in here that you don't see, they're probably going to have most of it all cleaned up. So yeah, guys, that's the tank so far. It's water.
That's water?
Yeah. So so far the tank, that's just how it is right now. It's probably gonna change, especially once we get some plants. Let's look at this tank here, guys. So let's talk about how all that in the tank is going to affect the tank. Not only the water parameters, but how the fish are going to interact with it. Just the general aesthetic and how it affects the people looking at the tank. So water parameters, that's going to be the biggest concern. If you guys noticed the rocks we had in the tank, they were Ceru stone, which is limestone based. We actually acid washed the Ceru stone to help make it more inert. Take a lot of the limestone from leaching it, slowing the limestone from leaching into the aquarium. That's going to help keep the hardness lower and help us keep a lower pH in the tank, which is what we're after, being that we have cardinals, farewella catfish, zebra plecos, and some cory cats. All of them are wild caught, so obviously we're wanting softer water, lower pH water, so we don't want too much hardness in there. Now the driftwood, that's going to do what driftwood does. It's going to leach some tannins into the water. It's going to help lower the pH. There's definitely enough driftwood in there to make a difference, but we're not necessarily chasing a pH, but it's going to have a positive effect where it's going to lower the pH, but that's not necessarily the goal. It's mostly just for aesthetics. We like the way the spider wood looks in there, and we're going to, once we add plants too, it's going to help with nitrates, soaking up everything. It's going to help with ammonia. Fam favorite ride POVs. Got any discus? We do, but not that many. And they're really small. They're about quarter size. Let's go look at a couple discus over here. So we have 3 types right now. I don't know if they're all available or not. They could be sold out because we're down to pretty low numbers here. This is the red Allenker discus. You can see they're just like a quarter size, not very big. And then right next door, we have the apricot discus. There's only 4 in the tank, and these could also already be sold. I do know we have pending orders waiting to go out. And then on the other side, we have some red turquoise discus, and they're pretty small. And then we only have 5 of those in the tank, so sorry about the noise, guys. I think there's an air leak. I'm gonna have to check that out when we're done here. But yeah, so not too many discus in currently. Really quick, I'm trying not to disturb the fish, guys, but these yellow banded acara look really good. Look at these guys squaring up. It looks like they're actually fighting over territory of that rock just right above. Now these guys are fighting too up front. Guys, these are a really cool fish. If you're into like a medium-sized community type cichlid, these yellow banded acaras are a really good option. That nice color, good body shape, overall good temperament. So that's the yellow banded acara. Sorry guys, I'm going through reading some of your comments. I was kind of rambling on there for a little bit and I didn't keep up, so just give me a second, catch up on some of these comments. Joey, nice, had a great visit last week. It's always good to have you guys come out. When you guys can come out, it's enjoyable for us. We get to meet you guys. You guys get to pick out your own fish. It's always really nice, so. Mario got his shipment in, rainbows, balsani, all healthy and happy. That's good to hear. Jeff says Jungle Vale would look great. Daniel, no problem about those Kalitawa. So that's an interesting subject, and if anybody's interested looking into it, Daniel and I were talking in emails about Kalitawa rainbow fish, when we could potentially have more males or females available and why. So the Kalitawa for us, we've had issues getting females. So it seems as though they're temperature dependent on what the egg develops into. And the warmer the water for us, we're getting solely male rainbow fish when we're breeding them. And it's because our water temperatures are so warm. So out of probably, let's say we bred 1,000, we got maybe 15 females. So it's almost 100%. So in our new breeding, in our new building that we're currently in the process of building, hopefully we'll be able to more accurately gauge temperatures and regulate them, which will allow us to get a better mix of male and females on some of these fish that require certain temperatures. Joyce has a question about adding additives into the canister filter to help soften water. So yes, that's a possibility. It's not necessarily going to soften your water, but it will help lower your pH. There's also some things like charcoal will help take some of the things out of the water that might be making your water quote unquote hard. You can add peat moss to your canister filters, which can help lower pH and quote unquote soften your water. But ideally, if you are trying to chase a certain water parameter, the best route to go is start with RO water, and you can use your tap water to add tap water or your well water, whatever you have, to get to the water you want. When you start messing with water inside your aquarium, the swings typically aren't good for your fish. So it's good to kind of pre-mix the water and have it ready for your next water change, and then just slowly change your water, whether you want it softer or harder, and just, it's a gradual change you want. Typically I wouldn't recommend doing it any kind of drastic changes, unless it's like a your fish are dying right now and you need to change type thing. So I would manufacture water, maybe get a bucket on wheels. Brute buckets work really well, and what you could do is fill it with get an RO unit, fill it with RO water until you're ready, until like you can add get the RO water, and then what you're gonna do is whatever water parameter you're after, you're gonna add your tap water until you get to that desired TDS, pH, GH, KH, whatever it is. And you just want to be consistent with that every week. So give me 1 second, guys. Alright guys, sorry about that. Had some music playing in the background. Don't want the video to get taken down or muted, so I had to shut the music off. Let's see what other questions you guys have. Fish Baby Daddy, what wood is best for soft water fish? Well, it's a great question, Fish Baby Daddy. Pretty much any wood that has a lot of tannins in it. If it hasn't been sunk before, if it hasn't been in the water and waterlogged, or if it hasn't been in nature drying out for a really long time, any driftwood's going to benefit. Now you want to avoid soft woods like pine. They can actually leach out like the sap that's inside the pine wood, and that can be detrimental. Now I do know some people have used pine in aquariums before, but it's been really old pine, whether they pulled the wood already out of a pond or the bank of a pond where it's already been exposed and all that has already leached out of the wood. So really most woods would work. I lean towards hardwoods. Manzanita wood's a great one. You can use oak, you can use spider wood, mopani wood. If you're looking for a lot of tannins, mopani wood generally has a lot. I know it's more used for like reptiles, but I have seen mopani wood used in aquariums and it leaches a lot of tannins for a long time. I don't know why that is, but I do know it does hold a lot of tannins. Guppy, we do, I don't know if there's any snow white plecos on the website, but we do have some that are ready to be sold down in our breeding area. So I will check into that when we're done today. But we do have fry growing up and they should be ready to sell if we don't have any up already on the website. Fam's asking when we're gonna have electric blue rams in. That's a great question. I've actually been looking for a good source of electric blue rams, but it's been difficult. I think we're going to have to import them and start breeding them ourselves again just because of pricing. But that is something we are looking into, is getting more of electric blue rams in. Mario, we don't have any Nanoluteus ready to sell yet. We do have fry growing up. Not many fry, maybe 40 or 50. It was our first spawn, But here in a few months, we should have a lot more, now that they are starting to spawn. So fam asking about what is the benefit of the palm fronds in the Ultim tank up front. So in our show tank we had palm fronds. We took them out when we were aquascaping, but the benefits of leaves in aquariums, whether they're palm fronds, oak leaves, Indian almond leaves, they all contain tannins. The tannins release into the water, and they act as like nature's kind of antibiotic. They help prevent fungus from forming and any kind of negative type of bacteria. They also help reduce the pH in an aquarium, and it's a slow change. As the tannins release from the leaves, they slowly can potentially drop the pH of the water as long as you don't have too much hardness in the water. So for softwater fish, what we would call softwater fish, they hold a lot of benefits, and they help. Honestly, the tannins, they do help bring out a lot of the colors in these fish that are softwater fish. So typically South American or maybe some Asian fish that come from black water. It helps bring out some of those colors that you normally wouldn't see in a clear aquarium. The fish will really start to pop if you get that tea colored water. So there's a lot of benefits. Another benefit is the plecos. They actually like rasping on it. The plecos and our farewellas in that tank were actually eating the palm fronds, just a little bits at a time here and there. It's just kind of a natural part of their diet in nature, so it's just another benefit. You're welcome, Guppy. So yeah, I'll look into the snow white plecos when we are done here. So if you guys are wondering, we've been looking at the fire blue empress. I'll get a closer shot for you guys. These are the ND way. As you can see, pretty nice fish here. Mostly blue. They got red on the tails. We have males and females in this tank. And this is a 75 gallon, so you can see they're pretty big. They're 5 inches. Let's go look at some other fish. Let's go look at these dragon bloods, guys. I'm rolling on a chair, just so you guys know. I'm just kind of rolling around here. So here we got some 2 to 3 inch dragon blood. This is an unsexed tank, so if you were to purchase a 2 to 3 inch unsexed dragon blood, this would be the aquarium that it would be coming from. You could see, I'll zoom in over here. There are some obvious males. They look really nice. And this is our German strain. So our German strain, the females actually, it's not picking up on the camera, but this fish is really orange. It's almost red. But you can see even the females in this strain look pretty good. Daniel has a good question. So Daniel's asking, would I remove fish from an aquarium if it starts to get a bent curved spine and I suspected fish tuberculosis? Now, I personally would. The best thing you could do is get it out of the tank and stop spread whatever disease it could potentially be. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to stop it. It could already have spread, so it's not a foolproof way. And regardless, I would treat the whole tank that the fish was in. So if you suspect a bacterial infection, I would treat the whole tank for a bacterial infection. Now, if it's just a fish that got beat up and has some wounds on it, I would I would move that fish. I would remove it, put it in a hospital or quarantine tank, and treat it that way. But if you're suspecting, if it's, say, a rainbow fish tank, and I know they are prone to fish TB, I would remove that fish as soon as possible and just hope you caught it in time so it didn't spread. Fish baby daddy, should I put rock in with saltwater fish? That's a great question. That depends on the rock. So there's certain rocks that will leach limestone, calcium, just general hardness into your aquarium, and then there's some rocks that will not. So if you want rocks in a saltwater aquarium, I recommend finding something that is inert, meaning it's not going to leach anything into your water. Things like river stone generally don't leach. I think dragonstone won't leach anything that's considered hard. Dragonstone is a clay-based rock. It doesn't really leach too much. So yes, you can use rocks in an aquarium that's considered, or that you want to be soft water, but just consider the type of rock. If you're unsure, just Google it. Google will normally have the answer. Another option is to get some muriatic acid, and you can test it. Now be very careful. Muriatic acid is it can be very dangerous. Make sure if you do get it, you're using it in a well-ventilated area, and you can actually test it. If the acid reacts with the rock, that means it is going to leach chemicals into your aquarium. Now, if you pour some acid on it, on the rock, and there's no reaction, then you're good. It's not going to leach any kind of hardness into your aquarium. Carlos, that's a great question. So Carlos asks, can I ask for a male dragon blood if I order an unsexed fish? We get these requests all the time, guys. Yes, you can ask, and yes, we will try to accommodate you when possible, but the reality of it is, if we're really busy and you ordered an unsexed fish and we walk up to this tank and we're having a hard time seeing a male versus female, you're kind of just going to get what you get. We do our best to meet accommodations, but males, females at that unsexed size, we will never guarantee you will get what you ask for. By us doing that, we lose out on not only sales, but we also lose out potentially on upsetting you if we say, yes, we can get you 100% male at 2 inches, and maybe 3 months down the line that fish colors down and it's actually female. Or vice versa, you ask for a female and in a few months that fish fully matures and next thing you know you have a male. So typically we try not to sell fish at 2 to 3 inches as sexed when it comes to peacocks, haps, and mabunas, just because of that. We don't want to mislead you and potentially sell you the wrong fish. It happens already as it is at the larger size from time to time, so we try to avoid that for the benefit of the customer and for us. So requests can always be made via email or through your order. There is a place in your order before you check out you can leave requests, but just know we won't be able to 100% guarantee it, and if it does happen, we're sorry. We try our best, but sometimes we're not able to meet those requests. Daniel's asking, what med would we use to treat something like TB? Generally, I don't think it's curable, but generally what we would do is just treat with an antibiotic, just to help the fish through it. So sometimes it works and the fish will be fine and it wasn't fish TB after all. In general, if it's fish TB, It's basically like a slow death sentence for the fish. So really what you're gonna do is you're just trying to soothe the fish. So an antibiotic will help with any kind of open wounds. Salt helps with any kind of open wounds. Any skunk cory is coming soon. Not that I know of, Christopher. We do have an order coming in next Wednesday. It's an Indonesian order. A lot of tank raised stuff. We're getting some South Americans. We're getting some Asian fish. We're getting some of the bread and butter fish that we've been out of for a while. We're getting some new fish, potentially. We ordered a really cool catfish type. So anybody who likes big one-off fish, be on the lookout. We might have some chaka chakas coming in. We did order them, but we're not guaranteed to get them. Just like when it comes to wholesale, nothing is ever guaranteed. How do you treat bloated fish, Robert? That's a great question. So, bloat, there's a couple options. One is just stop feeding the fish, see if it'll pass naturally. Two is Epsom salt. We do have some Epsom salt here. I'll show you guys. So Epsom salt will help. Another thing is feeding the fish something that is more feeding something like a pea. Like if you de-shelled a pea, I know a lot of people who keep goldfish, this works for them. If their fish start to bloat, they will actually blanch peas, de-shell them, so you take that hard outer shell off, and sometimes that helps. But each fish is going to be different, and I highly recommend you research that fish and see what others have done if that fish has gotten bloat, and consider your options that way. David, you are very late today, but that's no problem. Good to see you. And Daniel has one more question. Let's see what Daniel has. So yeah, Daniel, we do treat, most of our treatments we use here on the fish farm are in the water column. I'll just go by a tank, for example. Now this one's getting a water change and it's done being treated, but you can see the medication that was in there just due to the color versus this tank. So that was treated with an antibiotic. That is generally the way we do it. For internal parasites, we will use medicated fish food. We will make up large batches and feed the target fish that medicated food, while also using a water column type dewormer at the same time, and that will help really get rid of whatever kind of parasites we're after, or like anything internal, whether it's hexamida, Calaminas worms, or any kind of worm that could be inside the fish's gut. Guys, these are the yellow rainbows. They're looking really good right now. You can see some of the males are really colored up. Look at this male right there. He's looking great. There was another fish, guys. I need to find it really quick. I want to show you another rainbow. Hopefully they're still colored up. We brought them in yesterday from our greenhouse. Let me walk around the rainbow rack and see if I can find it. Here we have some big Pricei. These are some of our old breeders. Here you go for reference, my giant hands. These guys are 3.5, 4 inches. So those are some of our old breeders that we were selling. These were the ones that were really colored up, guys. They since colored down in the tank, but you can see they're showing some of the males are showing some good color. So these are the Sungai Colossum. Yesterday these fish were really colored up. These guys have a lot of sheen to them though. You can see it when the sunlight's hitting them. They're really glowing. Yeah, those guys were looking really good yesterday. Right now they're colored down. I bet you in the morning they were really colored up. Here we have the metallic shiners. Now these guys are really cool. These guys are a Florida native fish. We do breed these here in a vat. They basically just breed on their own, similar to a rainbow fish. These guys are really nice. Let's see if I can get a close-up of one of these. Gonna have a difficult time focusing in on any of them. Because they get their name metallic shiner. They're very metallic-y. The way the light hits off them, the camera doesn't want to focus in on them. Here we go. Got some Millennium Rainbows, looking great. Ha! Daniel, thank you for that. Daniel says 27 people watching and only 8 likes. Yeah, guys. If you're enjoying it, guys, hit that like button. Let us know. I know today was a little bit of a slow start, but I just wanted to show off that show tank. Let you guys know we are working on it. It's going to be a slow build. We're going to probably tweak it here and there. And we're waiting for that driftwood to sink. Here are some small Nairii. These guys are cool fish. Not much color on them at that size. Just for your example, check out some of the bigger guys here. Let's see if I can get this guy to turn, or this guy to turn. These guys are one of my favorite colored up fish, but they are so aggressive. If you are looking to get this fish, guys, just know, do your research. Lots of good color on the Nairii. And those were actually the Makobi Island, so those were a very specific location type of the Nairii. We have some smaller midnight peacocks over here. Small male right there. We have the yellow blaze. These are the German strain. So Christopher is saying every time we go live, he checks and he's unsubscribed from the channel. Oh yeah, Christopher, sometimes I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It has some glitches here and there, just like anything, so we appreciate you trying to get it to work. I don't know what the deal is with that. Yeah, Daniel, so we are going to continue to weekly take videos of some of our breeders 4 at a time, post short little videos. Every week it's going to be 4 new fish. We might even get into the breeding room and do that as well with some of the apistos and rams and discus, whatever else we breed inside. We might do that as well. Some of the Tanganyikans. Here's a new one for us. We don't have many, but this is the Tropheus Kazumba. Michael just wanted to say thank you. He picked up his order a few weeks ago. Healthiest looking fish you've got in a while. That's great to hear, Michael. And you have the benefit of being close enough to pick up, so you're getting like top quality fish without having to worry about the stresses of shipping, which is a huge advantage of what a lot of our customers, So now we do ship, and we ship all over with no issues, but with you being able to pick up, you even have a little bit even more of a better, you're just in a better scenario where you can just pick your fish up. They don't have to get shipped all over the place and stressed out, so that's great. Guppy wants to see the albino glow light tetras. We will see if I can find them. here. Albino glow lights. Now I know we have some. Oh, we just got a good fish in today, guys. I'm gonna show you really quick. Now these just came in, they need to settle in. We need to put them through quarantine, but we got green tiger barbs in. I think we got 50 of them. They look really good. One of my favorite color forms of tiger barbs. So if you're into tiger barbs, you definitely check out these green tiger barbs, line bred. Here are the albino glow lights right next to them. I'm gonna have to zoom in for you guys. You can see one there starting to color up. They get some red in their body, like that one right there. There's another one right there. So they're not fully colored up right now. These were also just brought in today. So they will color up more of the time. They get more red in them, like the two that we saw. Got some orange Von Rio. And these guys get more orange. These were also just brought in. You can see some of the ones that were already established have color. The longer you get them in your tank as they settle, they're really gonna color up. Odessa barbs. Let's see if we have any of those in. I think we ordered some of those as well. And I may have walked right past them already. Here we go, guys. Now these are tiny, 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 but these guys are worth the wait. These are one of my favorite tetras when they get bigger. They get really, really red and silver and black. Really nice tetra. At this size, there's not hardly any color on them, but this fish is definitely worth the wait. So if you haven't seen a full-grown Odessa barb, go ahead and look them up. Really cool fish. They've been line bred to be even more red, and just they're in general they're pretty peaceful. They get bigger than like a neon tetra. They're not huge. They get around 3 inches, I believe, but 2.5, 3 inches. But definitely worth the wait on them coloring up. So guys, that's going to be it for today. Turn you around. Be on the lookout. We're going to be updating that tank. We're going to be planting it, changing the hardscape. This thing's out of control. It's always throwing me around. So yeah, we're going to be planting it. We got to source the plants first. We haven't ordered them yet. Hardscape's gonna slowly change, potentially fish changes, not too many. Thinking we want to add more discus. We got to get some in, potentially keep them all wild, but who knows when that'll change. That's gonna be the long plan. So thank you guys. Be sure to check out the website. We've been updating inventory a lot this week, so we will see you guys next week, and thank you.